instructions were to do with getting the joke out of the jail and nothing more.
Woo! What a phrase.
Woo! Oh my god, hang in there, Final. I'm reading down, just like, woo!
Who's playing Genshin?
I think it's you.
I mean, I'm not playing Genshin right now, but I might play it later.
Not that Genshin!
Oh, that looks painful.
No, it helps, Susato. It really helps.
Well, that wasn't Susato. Who is Susato?
Oh, is that the judge?
No, this is Mr. Vigil.
Oh.
About the witness stand.
So this is what it's like when you slap yourself and you don't wince at the baby slaps.
Yes, my lord. KV's voice is all starting to meld together now. Hello, everybody. KVTV on the Sun is here. We're back. We're on the last case of the last game of the Greatest Attorney. Several weeks have passed, so forgive us if we're like a little fuzzy on certain details. But, we are in the middle of figuring out what happened to the Asogi papers, or at least the papers that went missing that supposedly was Genshin Asogi's final weapon. And, Vigil recalled seeing scarlet ink on the document. And as we looked over here on the Asogi papers, those papers are clearly not written in scarlet ink. So whatever happened to it?
They're written in violet ink.
I wish I could like zoom in. Apparently you can zoom in, but I'm just like, I don't know how to zoom in. There's a little thingy here that says I can zoom in, but I don't know. Anyway.
I think that just says you can inspect it.
Yeah, which
like,
is just that. Yeah. So this is just a will. Clearly not the papers they're referring to, but like, what's his name? Mr. Barry over here. Barry Caden?
Oh, Barry Caden.
Yeah, he's insistent that this is the papers or something, that they found it. But obviously, Vigil is claiming something else, and because it's been a while, I did delve into what we're supposed to look into, because it has been a while, but it is noted in the autopsy report for Clint that there was scarlet ink found on his finger. We don't know where the document is, though, because as you can see, they didn't find it, and I'm going to assume we are going to be presenting this autopsy report to this statement to verify, to confirm, I guess, with Vigil that, yeah, actually, this is documented. I guess.
Objection!
Yes. We go with that. Scholar-covered writing is what you said you thought you saw, Mr. Vigil. And I believe that's exactly...
What you said you thought you saw.
What you said you thought you saw, yeah.
No, I mean, that is all grammatically correct, but boy...
That feels like a tongue twister right there.
What you said you thought you saw... okay, correct, but
what
ooh,
you said you thought you saw. Yep, that's the English language, everybody.
I'm really rusty, so I haven't practiced in a while, but I can see where the Japanese phrase was and how they were just like, and then here's the English.
And I believe that's exactly what you did see.
What?
Havers again. You've no evidence to say that.
I mean, well, have a look at this report.
Damn it.
That's my brother's autopsy report.
Yes, and there's something in here that's bothered me since I first read it. It states that scarlet-colored ink stains were noted on the fingers of the victim's right hand.
Yes, so it does.
Scarlet ink?
Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, I freely admit. But I would hazard a guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips, do they?
Your wit is not appreciated. My brother was a well-bred and fastidious man.
Okay. But people can be clumsy, too. Doesn't matter your upbringing, you'll fall down the stairs.
Should ink have sullied his fingertips, he would have cleaned them immediately.
That's a weird point.
What is your point, Council?
That his point was weird looking.
My point is this. Whatever Lord Clint Van Zieks was writing in that unusually colored ink, it must have been directly before his death. Because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand.
What? What?
Time to play the game of remembering all your voices.
I remember something troubled me at the time. At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. But Clint was wait, hang on. Punctilious?
Punctilious?
I've never heard that word before. I've never heard that word before.
I blame Shakespeare.
I'm
the real Shakespeare, not Shamspeare.
I mean, I'm assuming it's just a way of saying punctual, but you know.
I am Googling right now how to pronounce this. How to pronounce whatever that is in English. Hang on.
Punctilious.
What the heck? Punctilious. Yeah. Okay. All right. Punctilious. All right. Understood. That's just a word. That is just a word that exists. Okay.
Are you gonna be okay?
I literally had to like look up a soundbite.
Oh my god.
But Clint what I'm blown away. Anyway. But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. And no document penned in the color of the ink that was in the inkwell was ever found.
So the document had disappeared. Are you suggesting that the document my father had in his hand that night in his cell was...
the same document that Lord Clint Van Zieks was writing moments before his death?
Then, it was...
If Mr. Vigil's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that, yes. Mr. Vigil!
Sir!
When you spotted Mr. Asogi with the document in his cell, his precise words were as follows, were they not?
Alright then. But what's on the paper?
I forget, do I voice him or does someone else?
You do.
Okay. A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. A last will and testament.
If the conversation really did go as Mr. Vigil says, then what we now know completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Asogi said.
You really think?
Mr. Vigil did indeed see the convict with a will, but it wasn't that of Genshin Asogi. It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zieks.
No.
What?
Sir?
This is madness. My brother's last will and testament. That would mean that he had chosen to die.
That is what it would mean, yes.
No. Impossible. That is utterly out of the question.
Lord Van Zieks.
Oh yeah, that does kind of change things, doesn't it?
Clint was pursuing the professor. It consumed him day and night. Whatever happened, he would never have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. Never!
What if he found out and that's how he knew he was going to die?
He wouldn't rest until the job was done. Until the killer was caught.
Yeah, but what if the killer's 2 steps ahead of him?
The idea that he would willingly accept his own death. It's obscene!
Objection!
What would drive a person to write his own will?
And yet we can be sure that he was writing his will moments before his death.
And that Genshin Asogi came to be in possession of that document. Huh. So Clint willingly accepted death, and Genshin takes the paper. So what could the will possibly have contained?
Clearly something that couldn't be made public under any circumstances whatsoever. Because armed with that document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life. It was something so damning that it prompted the powers that be to enact the daring jailbreak plot. Yes, there can be no question that the will contained information of the utmost secrecy.
Information of the utmost secrecy. Oh! No, it couldn't be. Rubble, 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 rubble?
I think your brother finished his job. That's why he was able to go to his death.
I've had more than enough. Pursuing this notion of a phantom will...
Of a phantom will.
Phantom
Okay.
will. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm
Not the
following
other
now.
will.
Thanks, English.
Pursuing this notion of a phantom will nobody can attest to having seen serves absolutely no purpose.
I feel like that sentence could also serve for a comma somewhere.
Yeah.
No, my lord, that's unacceptable.
What did you say, Council?
The last will and testament that Genshin Asogi had in his possession was that of Lord Clint Van Zeeks. All the testimony and evidence presented to the court has logically led us to that as a possibility. We have a duty to pursue the line of reasoning to its conclusion.
With no possible means of knowing the contents of the document, there is no line of reasoning to pursue.
Says you.
A reason why Lord Clint Van Zeeks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death. Information so secret, people in the judiciary would be willing to negotiate the jailbreak of a condemned killer. So, if they're willing to do that, this information must affect all of Great Britain. Just based on how things are running in this fictional Great British world that we're in right now. So whatever...
Well, at least it would affect the judiciary.
Yeah, so something here is a very big oopsie deal with Great Britain's judiciary. The only explanation that fits those facts
The judiciary is the professor.
is an unthinkable truth that turns absolutely everything on its head.
The whole judiciary?
All of it. The entire judiciary. That's it. I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall.
But
Wait, even Clint Van Zeeks?
Everyone is the professor.
yes, everyone's the professor. That's the way to go. But
Okay.
it's just too hideous.
However difficult the situation might become, you'll work with your clients in pursuit of the truth. That's what you resolved to do when you entered the courtroom this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Mr. Sato,
So hold your head high and keep soldiering on.
Just not, if everyone is the professor, no one is.
am I the professor?
No,
What?
Look,
No,
that is something Ryunosuke would ask if you said that to him, okay?
so
Am
you're
I the
telling,
professor? No, you're still in school, idiot.
you're telling me that you visited Great Britain before back when you were 13. Okay,
Yeah.
So you can't be that skilled of a
right.
13-year-old. You're barely that skilled of a 23-year-old.
Damn.
He's right, though.
Look, Look, he's doing his best, okay? Freaking
And his best is an idiot!
Look, look, he wasn't even supposed to be here, okay? Sherlock decided to have some big crazy plot and made Osogi look like he died, okay?
Who's Sherlock?
Herlock. I'm gonna hurl something now.
Oh, yeah. Sherlock sounds like a fake made-up name. I don't know what you're talking
Sherlock comes to you, baby.
Like,
10
who would just
years
take an S
ago-
and put it in front of Herlock? That's crazy.
10 years ago, in his final moments, Lord Clint Van Zeeks left behind a will. A will that Genshin Asogi was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details in the will were related to the Professor case.
The defense's last statement is mere conjecture. What do you get? God, I have lost his voice. Hang on a second. It's moving back and forth in the amount of time. Like, what? He's somewhere down. No, he's a little lower. He's somewhere down here. Yeah, this sounds correct. Yes. What are you getting at, man?
I think Baroque's coming to a realization now too, because the way he gestures, I don't think Clint is as innocent as he thinks he is at this point. Final?
He's been shocked at the silence.
Ryunosuke.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. As soon as these words came out of my mouth, there's no going back. I believe that the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zeeks was in fact. Ooh.
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 So I'm gonna just immediately nix that report because I don't
It's not
think.
a report, no.
Yeah.
No, it's either
But-
an accusation or a confession. Now,
I mean, just going by how
a
we're...
confession would be insane, which is how we know it's Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
But an accusation would also be kind of crazy. But
See,
like
that-
a
and that- and
confession
that's-
would be super
So-
crazy.
So I'm going based on how Baroque is behaving because Clint is so close to him. He's not in a... His animations indicate something bad. Something really... Some kind of...
Oh yeah, no. Baroque has definitely been like, my brother would never. My brother would never. My brother is the best. My
So-
brother would never.
So going...
My brother would never. And every time Ace Attorney does that, it's just like, all right. So what we're going to learn is that like, your brother
I
would.
think it's a confession because of that behavior. Because what, like... I can see the accusation, but
Oh, if
because-
Clinton, if Clint was the professor,
Yeah.
that's a member of the judiciary, right?
Yes.
And
Yes, I think that's... I'm just going
I'll
based
take
on
the
that.
heat so your entire society doesn't fall apart if you break me out of here. And I don't just leak that you've been lying about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm in. Confession.
It's a very Ace Attorney plot.
You can do this, Miss Naruhodo.
I believe that what Lord Clint Van Zeeks actually penned that day was a confession.
A confession.
Regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor and his true identity.
Objection!
Enough, counsel. What are you saying? Do you even realize
Oh, I do.
a confession about the true identity of the professor? That would mean
Uh-huh. Lord Van Zeeks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in. But it's the only explanation that fits. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago and became known as the Professor. The man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy. Wasn't Genshin Asogi at all.
No, you can't be suggesting.
It was, in fact, the man believed to have been the 5th victim. Lord Clint Van Zeeks himself.
Thanks, Discord.
Thanks, Discord.
It's finally open, is it? Pandora's box.
The great Van Zeeks family? Oh, why is it going so fast?
You see the paragon of justice in the Capitol.
But he was actually a mass murderer, a perpetrator of atrocities of the vilest nature. If the general public ever found out...
My brother.
Oh, this is too awful. Poor Lord Van Zeeks.
I wonder, though, did he never suspect?
Listen now, Hodo.
Lord Baroque Van Zeeks is a brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize what his older brother really was?
What?
Okay. Lord Van Zeeks. The professor had made use of an enormous hound as his murder weapon. Tell me, did your brother own a dog?
Yes, he did. Balmung. He was a well-known hunting dog. People called him a giant.
Hello?
He's been once again stunned into silence. My God.
I don't believe this.
When my brother would go hunting in the forest of the grounds behind the house, he always took Balmung. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too. Almost as if he were following his master. He was a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-studded collar around his neck.
Oh. A jewel-studded collar. Oh my God, that was so long ago.
That's right. Though sadly, some years ago now, it was stolen by a thief who broke into the house one night.
Wait, we still got it. We still got it. That was case 2 of this game. A jewel-studded collar stolen by a thief. It so happens that myself and my colleagues have come across such a collar during our time in London.
How could you?
It's been like a year, but you know.
There was an old emblem attached to the collar too, made of pure gold. It was topped with a small crown, which bore the ornate capital letter B.
Well, now we know where that blood is coming from.
What? An emblem bearing the initial B?
Oh my, you know it?
It's the insignia of the Baskerville family.
What? The Baskerville? Why is that name coming up now?
Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow. That pure gold emblem was an heirloom, which Clint acquired upon their marriage. There can be no doubt, then. The collar you've described was Balmung's. Are you telling me Clint's dog is the Hound of the Baskerville?
Uh-huh.
You're telling me that he's a dot hack character?
KB, thank you for bringing that up. As the only other dot hack fan in this group, thank you.
Excuse you, I played the Dot Hack games. I'm just a casual fan of it.
I haven't played any of the dot hack games. I just know that because that was a character in one of the enemies.
I have played the Dot Hack of games, okay? Thank you.
That's a joke for Final and only Final.
No, I know who Balmung is in Dot Hack 2, so...
The family insignia of Lord Van Ziek's widow.
There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. Since we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been from its quarry, of course.
But it could equally have been from the human prey.
So it's true that Clint Van Zieks really was Professor.
Possible these Japanese are okay then.
Got it.
No, let them cook, let them cook.
So in fact, the person responsible for these murders of the nobles and royals was a noble himself. And that threatened to be an enormous scandal that would irrevocably destabilize British society.
My father knew that and was using it to negotiate his way out the unjust charges brought against him. But at the very last hour, those he bargained with betrayed him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil.
Oof. Well, can you deny it, Lord Strongheart?
And years have passed. And still now, the 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easy believing that justice was done. That though his anonymity remains, the diabolical murderer was caught and executed. Very well then. You may have the truth.
Ooh. Is it really the truth
look
coming
bad.
from you, though? Is it really the
Yeah.
truth coming from you?
Tell me then. Tell me what Clit really was. Lord Clint Van Zieks was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor and went in pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals requires one to become even more fiendish oneself.
So he became Batman who kills. Is what I'm getting at
So
here.
he became the Punisher.
I say Batman only because he's rich.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Punisher also works.
Clint.
Can I go home now?
No,
Who's talking?
you. I think it's a Strongheart.
The 19th century was a truly miraculous 100 years for the Great Britain, and indeed the whole world. New industry, new technology, and with the birth of the Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order.
Dun dun.
But these dazzling new developments meant even deeper shadows were cast on society. Water sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes and crime, growing daily to fill the darkness. Lord Clint Van Zieks made it his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate at his soul, until eventually, he was consumed. It's ironic, really, and somewhat surprising, that the truth has once again been unearthed. By a Japanese.
Once again, what do you mean?
But Kazuma did. Wait.
10 years ago, your father, Genshin Asogi, turned up at my office one night. The professor?
Yes, beyond all shadow of doubt. You must issue a warrant to search his home at once.
Don't be absurd. The man comes from one of our country's most illustrious family. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital.
Yes, that's the point. That's why none of you British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion, whilst he commits these atrocious crimes behind the scenes.
Do you have evidence?
Nothing definitive as yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate. We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We're up against a member of the aristocracy.
So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that's commonplace here in Britain. And I'm sorry, but I can't possibly put Scotland Yard onto this based on the tenuous accusations of a visiting student. So I turned down Asogi's plea. And as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Van Seek's mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, of course. Lord Clint Van Seek's perished. I don't believe this.
So, in actual fact, Kazuma-sama's father did.
He made the late Lord Van Seeks meet the same fate. He put a permanent end to the professor killings by taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life.
As soon as I heard, I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what had happened.
And what about the will?
Sogi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea of the existence of such a document at that time.
Huh.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the professor.
I don't think you're the only one.
So, I resolved to keep it a secret, and to guard the secret to the bitter end.
So you're admitting to it, that you were behind it all.
It was you, then, who pinned the crimes on my father.
Y'all are not paying attention, are you? I did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. Even if that meant employing an unforgivable ruse.
Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence.
I ordered that detective to take care of it, whilst keeping the truth from him, naturally. Gregson. Obviously, he opposed me at first.
Are you off your rocker? Look at the sun like that.
There's no question that it was Asogi who murdered Lord Van Seeks. The house staff have made statements that they saw the man running from the mansion that night.
Yes, well, I've no doubt about it was a Japanese fella. Why have got a shred of it evidence against the man? And worse than that, he doesn't keep a dog, so it's short a murder weapon to boot.
We're short on time, Gregson. We must put a stop to this man's rampage, for the good of the country. So we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear, detective?
Blimey.
So that night 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets, and Genshin's ring was taken. That was him, was it? That was Gregson and some hired help?
Oh, well?
Then the detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who feigned its discovery from the victim's stomach during that autopsy.
And in the light of that decisive evidence, Mr. Asogi was found guilty of the charges brought against him. However, behind the scenes, he had actually already struck a deal with his accusers, in which he agreed to silently accept the charges.
But I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhanded dealings.
It was extremely easy to make him comply.
Yeah, Sogi, like, what? Okay, we're a little bit over, so we're gonna have to stop here, and then we'll come back to this in the next video, because, like, it's you, Kazuma. It's literally you. That is the reason. We'll see you all then.
Super easy, barely inconvenience.
Have you ever heard of what parents would do for their children? Has that come to your mind, like, even once? Literally, I'm just gonna wait until the next video. It's